I've set out today on the hike up Nanhu Hut. It's planned to be a 2-night trip. So at the moment I'm about 2/3 of the way up to the hut. I think it's Yunleng Hut. Can't actually remember the name of it. But I've got about 5 kilometers to go and about another 250 meters of height to gain. So I've got to get up to a little high point. So that's what I'm struggling away at the moment. Just actually stopped for a bit of a snack to keep me going. And then after crossing that high point, there's a little bit of a descent and then a bit of flat and maybe a bit of a mild climb again to get to the hut. So about 3 o'clock now and 3 hours till sundown. So all going smoothly for the time being. So I arrived at the hut about half an hour ago. So there's a very light rain, haven't seen any views. It's basically been quite fogged in here. So it's mostly just a hard struggle up the hill and then up and down as the trail went. Probably about 15 tents here. There was a few moments when I was going up the trail when I thought I might be the only one up here, but I think it's about as full as it'd get. Quite busy. The hut itself is closed at the moment because of COVID. They don't want to have people indoors. It's about 6:20 in the morning of day 2. Had a really early night last night. I was in bed like 7:30. I think I slept before 8 basically. I woke up then at about 11 and was awake. I just listened to a podcast for about an hour and a half before going to sleep again, and probably woke up about half an hour ago. So a fair bit of sleep. I was pretty worn out last night, having basically not slept the night before. I just had a horrible night's sleep at home for God knows what reason. Anyway, looks like blue sky above me. The sort of drizzle and stuff that was going on last night, basically something between very, very heavy fog and rain, was has dried up. So hopefully that means there'll be views today. So it should be a very, very steep climb. Basically gain 1,000 meters. And the design of Taiwan trails usually goes from A to B in the shortest possible way. So straight up the hill. Actually there is a small descent. We're kind of going along the ridge here. Descend about 50 meters vertical and then gain, I think it's would it be 1,050 meters or something like that, up to Nanhu North Peak and then down to the hut. The hut here has what I would call a loo with a view, so certainly can't complain about the view. The loo itself honestly is fucking disgusting. I know that people have had different attitudes about the state of public bathrooms in Taiwan, and if you're hiking maybe you should tolerate something a little bit rough. I don't mind tolerating something a little bit rough, but having a river of shit roll down the hillside is really not acceptable, honestly. You gotta bury that. You don't just let it slide down the hill. That's pretty disgusting. And this is a pretty big hut. There's, I think, capacity for more than 40 people. So I think gotta lift the game here. Oh, just behind me is another toilet with more of a shelter. I don't know if that's got a different setup, but I suspect not. I suspect it's just rolling down the hill as well. So it's pretty grubby, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm heading up from here. I'm gonna start the climb. Looks like I'm the last, unless the group that was here last night are heading downhill, but I suspect they're going up and are ahead of me. So I will be chasing behind. Sun's well and truly up now, so although it's not hot yet, well, it's not hot yet, it could be getting warm soon. I'll take this top off anyway. Just stopped for lunch at a little hut that's on the route. Pretty cramped little spot and not too many people stay there. At the hut itself, there's not much of a view, but if you walk 20-30 meters away, it's not too bad a spot. My girlfriend gave me a pack of instant mashed potatoes to use up because she's had them in the cupboard for quite a while. So I've just prepared them, and the coloration of them is not quite what I expected. Had a look at the packet and they expired June 2019, so a little over 2 years ago. Tastes alright though. Well, I'd say that I'm chipping away at it. About 300 meters above that little hut there, at about 3,500 meters now. And I've got to gain about another 100 meters to get to the high point of the trail, which is the Nanhu North Peak. Definitely getting a little bit worn out, so it's good to know that it's just another 100 meters of height gain to go. Looks like I'll get to the hut around, say, 1 o'clock, I think. So all going pretty well. So I'm drawing reasonably close to today's high point. Just got to make my way up and down here to get up to where that is, and then descend about 200 meters vertical to get to the hut. Thinking about going up the main Nanhu mountain, which is that one. Not sure if I'll manage that this afternoon or potentially tomorrow morning. We'll see how I go. So I've made my way over the high point, which is just behind me, and now I've just got to descend. I think it's meant to be 200 meters vertical down to where the hut is, and set my tent up there. I think I'll have a good rest and then make my way up Nanhu mountain later on this afternoon. So after stopping for some food and quite a bit of water, it's time for me to head up that hill there and get a view from there before coming back and spending the night in the tent I've just set up down here. So 3:15 now, and I think it should be a couple of hours to get up there and back. I'm getting closer to the summit, and it's been pretty difficult actually. I'm struggling, so it could be something to do with the altitude, or maybe I'm just flat out unfit. Probably 10 or 20 minutes to the summit, and then I can head on back down to the tent, and I'll be looking forward to a restful evening. Well, I must confess that that was not easy, but here I am. I'm at the summit of Nanhu main peak. Clouds seem to be wanting to close in on one side over there, but reasonably open for about 180 degrees. Not sure if I can see glimpses of the ocean out there. It's possible, but it's hard to tell. Oh, my voice seems almost a little bit croaky. Anyway, I'm gonna have not too long a stop up here and start making my way back down to camp. I just saw a deer. I'm gonna try and get it on the camera. Yeah, it's the first time for me to see a deer in Taiwan. So I'm just gonna pop around the corner and see if I can get a better angle. Quarter to 6 now, early evening, and I must confess I'm quite worn out. I'm gonna have to try and summon the strength to do a few stretches and then cook myself dinner. I think I might be having an early one tonight. So quite a sluggish getaway for me this morning. It's 9 AM. The other tents for other people who've stayed here last night are still here, but I got a feeling they're all hiking up a hill or something like that. I don't think the typical person that comes hiking here sleeps in quite this much. Anyway, plan for today is basically to just head back the way that I came. So there is a loop that you can do, but when I was planning this out, I decided to do it as an up and back. And so that means I'm going to start off with a 200 meter vertical gain to get back up to the top of the north peak of Nanhu Hut, and then be making my way down. I think it's about 20 something kilometers, 21 maybe, to the car park. I've just made that initial 200 meter climb, and the sky is definitely clearer than it was yesterday. Quite a few less clouds and the views go a lot further. So over in the distance there I can see the Taoshan area that surrounds Yunleng Farm. So I think the flat top one there is Mount Sylvania. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the one. So I did a hike up there a few years ago. It only lasted one night, I'm afraid. That was when I found out I had Lyme disease. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to continue along this ridge, and it leads all the way down eventually to the car park.